Silent Hill 2, a hell of a spooky game, which is good, it better have been, considering that we played it in honor of Spooky Month itself. But to give you an idea of how spooky it was, imagine for a second that instead of playing the game with a death counter, which is usually there because you're going to be dying a whole lot of times, you instead play the game with a jump scare counter. And imagine for a second that about half your scares on this counter were due to nothing more than just the sound design alone. Well, good news. You kind of don't have to imagine it. Damn it, can't break these mirrors, they're too tall. I'm not tall enough. What the f was that? Like I said, hell of a spooky game. Let's review it. Alright, ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back. It's me, Addy, again, and I hope you guys are doing terrifyingly amazing as always. That's right, it was Spooky Month, and in today's review episode, we're going to be taking a look at the remake to Silent Hill 2, which I completed not very long ago during the tail end of the Halloween season. And I have to say, in all close to 5 years of me streaming, this is probably my favorite game to have played during that month. I should mention that this was my very first foray into Konami's terrifying franchise set in the misty town of Silent Hill. I had never played any of the other ones before, nor the original Silent Hill 2. Bloober Team's remake to this was my very first experience with it, and I loved it. From start to finish, this was a hell of an experience that combined grotesque supernatural elements with one of my personal favorite genres, that being psychological horror. And in the coolest way possible, I wasn't able to shake the idea that this game was like if you were to combine the films Shutter Island, The Mist, and, well, insert anything by David Lynch here. Well, I was slightly bummed out that I didn't get to experience the original going into this, which is what I normally do when a remake to a game is right around the corner. In a way, I was still kind of glad that I didn't, since going into this fresh with no prior knowledge of the lore, and slowly yet surely piecing together the narrative and terrifying machinations of the town of Silent Hill for the very first time felt freaking amazing. The story of James Sunderland in this game and how he's beckoned to the sinister town in search of his lost wife was simple yet kept unearthing more and more layers that pulled me deeper down a rabbit hole of mystique and insanity that kept me on edge. And the way that this is all fueled via the town's presentation of these freakish, contorted monsters and buildings that keep morphing and devolving was excellent, and it all looks superb in Unreal Engine 5. I think that the atmosphere, and more specifically the sound design, was hands down the best part of this game. Like I said in my intro, most of my jump scares in this game were due to the sounds, from the simple yet unnerving noises of creaks, leaks, piano chords, and footsteps, to the completely arbitrary and horrifying screeches and whispers you'll hear with no face to them. There's not a single second that goes by that you're not feeling this overwhelming sense of dread while you're playing. Yes, the monsters themselves were terrifying, especially these mannequin-esque ones that would jump out from around corners to pulverize me, but in my opinion, the fear that they instilled was absolutely eclipsed by the phenomenal sound design. Bloober Team cooked here. Oh shit, we're going back to the yard and we have the final scale, and we heard that galloping the other day, guys. I'm scared.
Someone cooked here.
Oh, fuck. I hate that that fucking actually scared me. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. And up there with the sound design would be the level, and by extension, puzzle design as well. If you were to give me this game, not tell me the title, and instead tell me that it's a Resident Evil game made in the RE engine, I might actually be inclined to believe you. A big part of this game has you going through vast multi-floored locations, each having you solve intricate puzzles that connect each area and prompt you to do a lot of backtracking and circling around the place in order to ultimately progress, much like most RE titles. And given that I loved the ones that I'd played which absolutely had this element to them, Silent Hill 2 Remake quickly became one of my favorite horror games as well, given its efficacy in making these segments as fun to work through as in those RE games. And while the enemy variety and combat mechanics might have been sorta shallow here, they really didn't get boring at any point, and I was able to pick up on the fact that in Silent Hill, the gameplay is secondary to the story. It's a vehicle for it, and given how gripping the story is, it's fine that the gameplay is as simple as it is. And my only two criticisms of this game would have to do with some of the dialogue between the characters coming across as a little robotic, and one of the acts going on for just a little too long. But otherwise, this is a phenomenal game, and I would absolutely recommend it to you folks if you're looking for something scary to play with a really solid story. So it should logically follow that my final verdict for Silent Hill 2 Remake is that it's a game that I redonkulously recommend. And I kind of wanted to mention a little addendum here. Leading up to this game's release, the internet was really bitter towards what they'd seen of it, and having never played a Silent Hill game before myself, I assumed this vitriol was because there were clear flaws in what Bloober was making when compared to the original fan-favorite game. But I'm so happy that Bloober team proved everyone wrong and that they excelled here. So yeah, I hope this game serves as a reminder to at most be skeptical, not spiteful, and to reserve judgment for after a game's actually released. Just don't be jerks. I mean, devs work hard and they want the games they make to be as good, if not better, than gamers want them to be themselves. Enough said. But anywho's folks, I appreciate you for checking out my review video today, as always. I know it might be a bit weird seeing an episode of Addy reviews instead of the mini reviews like I said I was going to do more of in my update video last time. But thing is, it's not like I can't do shorter / mini reviews in the style of a traditional Addy reviews episode like this one. And I like this face-to-face aspect of these videos as well, and I really don't want to lose that. It's been a nice tradition as part of these review videos that I've been making for the past 3 years on this channel. I'd be lying to you if I said that one of the other reasons wasn't the fact that I just want to keep making review videos that have me pointing at the game in the thumbnail and, you know, making a funny face like this. I want to keep doing this until the very end and seeing my progression with these videos over the years and eventually having like 1,000 of these for you to see in a playlist. The concept of that is just kind of cool to me, okay? I'm going to be doing this till I'm 90, I don't care. And I think what I'll do with the mini reviews is I'll make them when I'm unable to spend as much time face recording or editing around that as much. So until the next hopeful Addy Reviews episode, take damn good care of yourselves, folks. Be sure to check out the Twitch channel in the description where I stream these awesome games live. And as always, keep on keeping on.